The Standard Gauge Railway is Kenya's single largest infrastructure project. Funded by the Chinese, the SGR is set to make Kenya a gateway into the continent as part of China's Belt and Road Initiative. So what is the Belt and Road Initiative and how does Kenya come in? We'll go behind the headlines. The Belt and Road Initiative is Chinese leader Xi Jinping's signature foreign policy move. It was launched in 2013 and will extend beyond Jinping's tenure. It is set to be completed in the year 2049, a long-term project that Kenya joined in 2018.
They connected the birthplaces of the Egyptian, Babylonian, Indian, and Chinese civilizations.
Dubbed China's project of the century, the BRI aims to promote economic prosperity and regional cooperation. The aim of the Belt and Road Initiative is to connect Asian, European and African countries more closely. The initiative will mirror the famous Silk Road. This was the ancient trade route that connected China and the West during the Roman Empire era. Overland, the Silk Road ran through India, Persia and Arabia and across the Mediterranean Sea into Europe and Egypt. Across the Indian Ocean, the trade route connected China with Java, India and Arabia. Somalia, the Horn of Africa and with the longest coastline in Africa, was crucial for the Silk Road.
It was an interconnection route for trade and cultural exchanges. And what it does in the world today is that it basically supports globalization.
China really was a quiet player on international affairs. But since 2013, when that project was unveiled, we are seeing a far more dominant China.
The Belt and Road Initiative follows a similar trajectory. And the route is taking shape, connecting 4 big cities in China, including Xi'an and Lanzhou to Almaty, Kazakhstan's largest city, Bishkek in Kyrgyzstan, all the way through the Iranian capital Tehran to Turkey and Russia. The BRI's land route joins up with the sea route at the Italian city of Venice, which passes through Athens. The Kenyan capital Nairobi then links the West to Asia through India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia and back to China, all the way to Fuzhou, a sprawling Chinese industrial hub.
A strategy that will connect China to 65 countries, bringing together almost 30% of global GDP, over 62% of the world population.
The project, which could cost more than $1 trillion, includes soft infrastructure like trade deals and transport agreements, as well as hard infrastructure like investments in roads, pipelines, rail and ports.
The BRI, it's a series of major economic corridors, some of them over mainland and others over the water. The one that connects China to Southeast Asia goes to Mombasa and into Europe. So Kenya was a strategic link that would connect Southeast Asia to Africa and upwards into Europe.
Critics of the mega project see it as an extension of China's rising power, a way of solidifying China's status as a world superpower while burdening developing countries with debts.
If they're doing that by building economic corridors that will empower other countries, to me I think that it is the easiest way to succeed, to be a powerful player in the global politics.
Economists also point to the ruthless nature of the Chinese expansion, with Beijing quick to jump out of a deal that does not work for them.
If it turns out that China is losing confidence in the Kenyan government, it can easily change that route into Tanzania, where Tanzania becomes the point of contact.
Since the launch of the BRI in 2013, China has invested $302 billion in Europe and $182 billion in sub-Saharan Africa. East Asia comes in a close third with $180 billion worth of BRI investments. $123 billion has been invested in the Middle East and North Africa. The US figures not part of BRI investments, but putting the numbers into perspective. So why Kenya as the gateway into Africa?
What it has done is that it has built economic corridors. And I think the port of Mombasa is very important, especially for the Northern Africa corridor and the Trans-African Highway. So the Northern African corridor, you look at the countries in the Great Lakes region, they depend on the Northern Africa corridor. And the port of Mombasa becomes very critical in terms of reaching these countries.
Nairobi's cozying up to the east seemed to point to a significant shift in foreign policy by President Uhuru Kenyatta. The Jubilee administration seemingly going slow on IMF and World Bank loans for the Chinese billions.
I like what Kwame Nkrumah used to say, that we should neither face west or east. We should face forward. So I think it's up to African countries to use both linkages to their advantage.
In a nutshell, the Belt and Road Initiative is a way for China to redirect its excess domestic capacity to regional infrastructure development, building railways, highways and special economic zones to consolidate her interests in over 60 countries. But the trillion-dollar question is Kenya looking out for her interests? Ben Kitili,